Hello and a good morning, good afternoon and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube today. Hope you're feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there everybody. Today people of the tube, we are going to be doing a shootout between my 5 Fender Stratocasters. And as usual people of the tube, after you've heard the sound examples, I want to know which one you prefer, you would have, and why. Let me know in the comment section below. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Which one of these 5 Strats would you have, and why would you have it? Okay, so sadly, unfortunately, yeah, why not? We can't, you can't feel how they feel, sadly, which is a bit of a shame. So I'll do my best to kind of describe that before we get going. So I'm just going to do a cleanish kind of sound example. Basically just the golden plexi on through the CR120. We're going to do a clean chord pattern, the same chord pattern on every pickup, on the bridge pickup, middle pickup, neck pickup. So and that's going to be it. I don't really want to use distortion just because it can kind of like muddy the waters a little bit too much. So I'm just going to leave it kind of like that John Frusciante kind of like broken up kind of clean tone. And yeah. After you've heard these sound examples, people tube, let me know which one you would have and why you prefer it in the comment section below. So, what are the 5? So, I'm a lucky jammy git, and I have a Strat from pretty much every decade apart from the 50s. So, the order they're going to go in is this. So, number 1 is, first up, is going to be the 62 Strat. Okay? Bridge pickup. And then bridge pickup, neck pickup, so 62 Strat. Next one, 1979. Next one, 1988, 1990, and Mr. Wild there is 2002. So, like I say, you'll hear the bridge pickup of the 62, 79, 88, 90, and 2002. Then you hear the middle pickup of the 62, the 79. You get the idea, people of the tube. So, yeah, without further doodles, shall we do this? Let's get on with it, shall we? So, 62 first. Okay, Computer Tube, there you go. That's all the sound examples. Let you know as well, they're all strung up with 10s. 10 to 46 Diodario strings. Anything else to mention? Yeah, all the pickups are stock. Apart from the 62's, her neck and bridge have been rewound by Mr. Matt Monty. But they sound exactly the way it sounded when I first got it. Unfortunately, the pickups went open circuit. And they had to be rewound. Anyway, they're also identically with strings. None of these strings are new either. I don't remember the last time I restrung any of these guitars. I think the last guitar I restrung recently was the ST here. Yeah. Which one did you prefer, people tube? Out of these 5, which one would you prefer and why? Let us know in the comment section below. For me, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you which one is slightly above the others. Because to me, they all sound and feel amazing. I will say the 1988 Strat, this one here. Here's another interesting fact, people at Tube, as well. There's only one guitar here that hasn't been refinished, and that's Mr. White. The rest of these guitars, the SD62, the 88, the 79 and the 62, have all been refinned, but Mr. White hasn't. He's got his original finish. But all these guitars have been refinned. The 88 does have its original finish under this black, but I don't want to see that because it's some horrible metallic blue colour and it's gross. Anyway, but yeah, coming back to what I was going to say, the 88 is probably the hardest to play. It still plays ridiculously easily, but it's kind of a little bit fiddly. It kind of fights you a little bit more than the others. But that's not really a deal breaker because this thing is amazing. And this is my first ever Fender. And I got this in 2003, it would have been, for 50 quid. And I found out they're really, really rare. I think Fender only made these things for like a year. Anyway, and it's been refinned black, and it's like a 50s kind of spec Strat. It's just amazing. Made in Korea as well. Yeah. I don't know, Pooper Tube. I really don't know. That's another interesting fact as well, Pooper Tube. So we've got 2 guitars made in the US. The 88's made in Korea. The ST's made in Japan. And the Mr. White's made in Mexico. So we've got the whole gamut here. We've got US, Korea, Japan, and Mexico. My God, are you a lucky boy, Dave? Are you a lucky boy? Yes, Dave, I know. I remind myself every day. And I know I'm a jammy sod. Anyway, that aside, I couldn't pick one of these as the out-and-out winner if you put a gun to my head. I couldn't. Because I don't think there is. They're all amazing. And this is the thing, is like, you know, I've had other Fenders in my time playing. But none of them have really stood up to these 5. These are the 5. These are the 5 that basically I will never, ever get rid of. Would I buy another Fender in the future if one came along and it was good? Yes, I definitely would if I could afford it and it was right. But it's got some tough competition here. Mr. White is the Strat I base every single one off, because that is the one I have the strongest connection to. I apologise about my phone. For obvious reasons. You know, if you've been on this channel long enough, you'll know why Mr. White is my number 1. And always will be my number 1. But the 62 and the ST62 play better. They do. These 2 guitars are probably the easiest guitars I have to play. The 62 Strat and the ST62 are just, when you play them, they just let you do what you want. The 88 fights you a little bit. Mr. White doesn't really fight you at all, but these have less grip on that. And the 79 barely fights you as well. The 79 and Mr. White are in the same ballpark. You know, they have the same kind of string tension, and they don't really fight. They let you do what you want. But the 62 and the ST62 and the 62, getting right way around, they don't fight at all. They're just like, got you, Dave. So in terms of playability, I would say 88's the hardest, followed by the 79 and Mr. White in second position, and in first position for play, like how easy they are to play, the ST62 and the 62 Strat take the top spot. They do, by far. They're just ridiculously easy instruments to play. Mr. White's easy instrument to play though. So is the 79 and so is the 88. But if I have to get brutal, then I have to put the ST and the 62 at the top. Mr. White and the 79 are at number 2, and then the 88 is at number 3. But it doesn't make any of these guitars. I wish you were here, people with Tube, to play these things, because, oh my god, these are literally insanely good guitars. They really are. And I'll be quiet. Let's put that on silent quick because it's annoying me. But yeah, it's really hard to pick the one. Like, if somebody said you could have only one, like, you know, we've got to take the others away, you only have one, it'd be obvious which one I'd pick. I'd pick Mr. White because he's been with me long enough. That's the guitar I learnt to play on. And I have the biggest emotional attachment. Well, I can't even say that because I've got a massive emotional attachment to all these guitars. But probably the biggest, you know, by about another foot is Mr. White. And that is the one I would have if I had to have one. But you'd have to fight me to the death to get these others off me. So, and I would put up a hell of a fight. Let's put it that way. But people with the Tube, let me know which one you prefer and why, and which one would you have and why in the comment section below. I'm very, very curious to read your comments on this one, people with the Tube. Like I say, they're just stunning guitars, these. They really are. They all feel totally different. Like I said, I love the fact that only one of them hasn't been refinned. Mr. White's got the original finish because the 62's been refinned, the 79 has been refinned, the 88's been refinned, and the ST62's been refinned. But, oh, and also, here's another thing as well, people with Tube. There's only one Strat here with a steel block tremolo as well, and that's the 62. The 62 is the only guitar I have here with a steel block tremolo. The others are just composite zinc blocks. So the 79 isn't a steel block. It's one of those weird 1970s blocks. I don't think it's steel. It is like a zinc or something like that. And I say all these have zinc blocks as well. They've all got folded steel saddles, apart from the 79, which has those kind of block 1970s saddles. They've all got the same kind of vintage style frets. They're all single coil pickups. All pickups are stock in every guitar. Nothing's been messed with in any of these, apart from, like I say, the 62's had its front and back pickups rewound. But like I say, it's put it back to how it sounded when I got the 62. When I got the 62, that's exactly how it sounded. But like, unfortunately, at some point, the bridge pickup and the neck pickup went open circuit, which happens. You know, these things happen to our old guitars. But yeah, they're as original as can be. I mean, in all fairness, the only things that aren't original most of the time on these guitars are the frets and the finish, and that's about as far as it goes. Oh, and the select switch has been changed on the ST62 to a freeway. Anyway, that's regardless of here, there, or anywhere. Which one did you prefer, and why? Anyway, I'm going to get off here with you. I hope you enjoyed this vid. I've been very, 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 very curious to hear your read your comments on this video. It'll be very interesting indeed. Like I say, I love these guitars to death. They are literally... This is perfection. There's nothing I would hybrid either, though. There's not... That's another thing as well, people tube. Let me know in the comment section below if you would hybrid anything. Like, you know, would you take, like, the bridge pickup from the ST62 and put it in the 79 or what? To me, I wouldn't do anything. These guitars, as they are magical. And I couldn't mess with them. Like, you know, the only thing I'll mess with them now is if a component, if a pop dies or a pickup dies, that would break my heart if a pickup died. But I could probably just get rewound regardless of the year or thing. And obviously I have to replace that. But they are literally perfect, these guitars. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are, people of YouTube. And I'll see you again very soon for another one. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. If you like the videos I do on this channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Links to that are down there in the description box below. Other than that, thank you very much indeed for watching. Let's give you a flyby quick of all these guitars. So, yeah, thank you very much indeed for watching, PeopleTube, and I will see you again for another one very soon. Goodbye now. Do you like my musical backing here? It's rather incredibly terrible. This is the weird one. I love it. Silver Fender logo. And finally...